Hi everyone. Today we'll talk about how to block or redirect a hook punch when we're not wearing any gloves. Let's take a look. The conventional way of blocking a hook is to cover. That's the way to go if we're wearing huge gloves, because we're basically using the gloves to dissipate some of the power of the impact. So the bigger the gloves, the better. When the opponent's glove hits your glove, that's 2 layers of protection. So it's much safer to keep the hands close. The problem when we're not wearing any gloves is that our fists are much smaller than our head. Not only can punches more easily get through, but getting punched to the back of an unprotected hand can be very painful. The metacarpal bones of the hands are not very thick. Picture the spokes on the wheel of a bicycle. If you put pressure on a spoke from end to end, it's very strong. But if you put pressure on it from the side, perpendicularly, it bends quite easily. Now granted, the bones of the hands are much thicker than the spokes on a wheel of a bicycle. But you get the idea. If we're defending punches by placing our hands against our head without wearing any gloves, not only are our hands only protecting a small portion of our head, but also, what's protecting our hands? The chances of winning a fight with a broken hand are slim. And without gloves to dissipate some of the power of the impact, what's going to prevent the energy from transferring from the opponent's punch to our hand and into our head? Wearing MMA gloves is slightly better than not wearing any gloves at all, but still, the fingers aren't fully covered in MMA gloves. So power can still transfer from the knuckles of our fingers into our face. Without huge gloves, we need something else to dissipate and redirect that power. That something else is alignment. The first thing to do is to separate our hands from our head so that the force doesn't get transferred directly into our head. Secondly, we need to cut off the angles. If we're not wearing any gloves, our fists are much smaller than our head. So we need to equalize that somehow, and that's by going toward the ball. You know, when a goalkeeper in soccer is dealing with a guy on a breakaway, he doesn't stay near the goalposts. He comes out of the goal towards the opponent to cut off the angles. So like the goalkeeper, we need to move our hand toward the opponent's striking hand to cut off the angles. How far should our defending hand go? Well, when our elbow is 90 degrees or less, it can collapse very easily. But as soon as we move beyond 90 degrees, it becomes much easier to hold the position. One very important thing to note is to not go for the opponent's elbow. I see a lot of people teaching this who say to go for the inside of the elbow. If you do this, you're going to have a rude awakening. The leverage disadvantage here is too great, and you'll still get hit. You have to aim to attack the front half of the forearm. Precision is key. And yeah, it ain't easy. So 10,000 times. If you want to see a great example of how well this technique works, just search YouTube for Lyoto Machida versus Ryan Bader. Lyoto Machida won that fight in spectacular fashion. As Ryan Bader ran towards Lyoto to punch him with his right hand, Lyoto took a step back with a slight angle, planted his foot, and delivered a beautiful simultaneous defense and attack, which ended the fight immediately. Something important to note is that the most devastating hooks are initiated at very close range with the elbow at 90 degrees. But usually, in a self-defense situation, if you're at a distance where you're able to hook somebody with your elbow at 90 degrees, that also means that they're at a distance where they're able to elbow you, clinch you, tie you up, and take you down. That's why most hooks that are thrown in self-defense scenarios, or even in MMA, are initiated from further away. The tips I've shared with you so far deal specifically with hooks that are initiated from further away. The best way to defend against hooks that are initiated in close range when neither of you are wearing any gloves is to not allow the fight to get that close in the first place by using striking and proper footwork. But if it does get that close, if you found this video helpful, remember to hit that like button And until next time, train well, and thanks for watching.